the people who stand out, the faceless crowd, lost and found, picking up on the speed of sound to faster ground, moving on. I can't hold back all the new progress, what I've done best, but how about now? Showing off all of the things you missed, all your interests.
Hello and thanks for checking out this what if video about Deku being born with his father's fire-breathing quirk, and how I think that might change some of my hero's biggest moments, like in today's episode, the fight between Deku and Todoroki in the sports festival tournament. So, I hope you enjoy the video, and if you do, don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe so you can keep seeing my video in your recommendations. But that's all for me, let's get this video started. Deku and Todoroki stand across the ring from each other, both ready to prove they are the best student in Class 1A, and with the introductions out of the way, the fight begins with Todoroki flooding the ring with ice as Deku is quickly drowned in a sea of frost, to the crowd's cheers. Todoroki readies himself, knowing the fight's not over, just when Deku bursts from the ice, covered in his own flames. Todoroki forms an ice wall to shield himself, but Midoriya blasted apart with a flick of his finger. Deku thinks to himself, I know I have to get as close as I can and finish this off quickly, or his ice will overwhelm me. Too bad he gave me the perfect way to close in on him. He then rushes towards Todoroki, trying to land a knockout punch, but Todoroki uses his ice to slide to safety, while barely avoiding several flaming attacks from Deku. The crowd cheer as this seems to be the most even fight yet, and both young heroes are putting on a show. Deku can tell Todoroki is getting tired, as he can see him visibly slowing down. Deku smiles, knowing that he's just getting warmed up. I'm guessing Todoroki's always had his ice, so he's never had to rely on his conditioning. If nothing else, I can just tire him out to get an easy win. But I'll do more than that. I'll show everybody I'm just as talented as him and Bakugo. Deku aims his hands and sends a blast of air at Todoroki, slamming into him and sending him flying. A direct hit, the announcer present mic shouts as the crowd continues to cheer for the underdog Deku. Even Endeavor watches on, slightly impressed in the young boy, but he is still confident in Todoroki's ability to recover and win the match. And Endeavor is right, at least about Todoroki recovering, as he quickly uses his ice to once again catch himself and slide back to the ring. Damn it, Deku says as he grabs his two freshly broken fingers. Deku tries to again rush towards Todoroki, but Todoroki is being much more careful with his spacing, keeping Deku away with walls of ice and traps on the floor, hoping to catch Deku by surprise. But Deku is also careful and calculating as ever, making sure to take his time and melt what ice he can with his fire breath, causing a mist to surround the arena as both heroes go back and forth. Deku keeps an early advantage, with his flames consistently able to counter Shoto's ice. Deku taunts his classmate saying, for someone with a fire quirk, you seem pretty scared of the heat. Todoroki barks back, I don't need my flames to be the best, I'll prove I'm better than my father with just my ice quirk. Deku makes his same speech, telling Todoroki it's your quirk too, not just your father's, and if it doesn't feel like your quirk, it's because you haven't made it your own yet. As Deku says this, he flicks another blast of air towards Todoroki while adding his fire breath, creating a much hotter, stronger fireball that breaks through Todoroki's ice and is moments away from connecting. But Deku's words teach Todoroki the truth of his quirk and forces him to see his power in a new way. Todoroki tells himself, Deku's right, this is my power, even if my dirtbag father gave it to me. A real hero would do anything to truly be the best hero. Realizing this, Todoroki sends out an explosion of flames, stopping Deku's and overtaking them. Deku sees a wall of fire rushing towards him, and he is forced to leap out of the way. But he slips on one of Todoroki's ice puddle traps, causing him to fall. Deku then looks up and sees it's too late to dodge as he braces for the hit, as Todoroki's fire blast slams into him. Deku can feel the immense heat and compares it to his own fire. He estimates it's at least twice as hot as his own fire breath, even with One For All adding some extra strength. But I can still take it. My body was built to resist this kind of heat, and one day I'll train my fire to be even stronger than this. Deku leaps out of the flames to the crowd's surprise, and his clothes still smoking from the fire, but he's still able to fight. He gathers strength in his arm and leaps towards Todoroki, who also begins gathering power as he uses his ice to push himself towards Deku. As they head for a final clash, the teacher finally realizes how dangerous the fight has gotten and tries stepping in, but it's too late as both students collide in an explosion that leaves most of, if not all of, the ring destroyed, as the crowd wonders who the winner is. When the dust settles, Todoroki is the first to be seen, barely standing in the ring with his ice narrowly saving him from falling out of bounds. Next, they see Deku, still standing, surrounded in flames in the middle of the ring. Present Mike shouts out, "What? The fight's still on? How are these kids both still standing?" Deku slowly raises his arm, ready to send a final flick attack towards Todoroki, but as he holds his shaking arm up, it falls to his side, as Deku is too exhausted to even hold it up anymore. Todoroki sees this and thinks, "This is my chance," but much like Deku, he is too exhausted to use his quirk and can only start slowly walking towards his rival Midoriya. Deku then takes a deep breath before slowly starting to walk towards Todoroki. "Even if I can't fight anymore, I'll have to push him out. I just have to win this for All Might." Even though Todoroki knows he's at his limit, watching Deku run towards him, he knows he has to start running too, as the crowd continues to cheer for both students. The teachers also allow the match to continue, as they see that neither can cause any more damage than what's already happened, and they also want to see who will come out on top. Now, with only a few more yards between them, the two heroes pull back, ready for one last punch, as Todoroki tries the same. Midoriya swings first, and it seems like a perfectly aimed punch, but it goes right over Todoroki's head. What? Deku thinks, until he realizes what happened. Todoroki has collapsed to his knees from exhaustion, just before Deku could finish him off. A referee quickly calls out for the match to be stopped, as Todoroki is unable to defend himself. The judges agree, and Izuku Midoriya is officially announced as the winner. The crowd claps and cheers for Deku as he too falls to a knee as the doctors come to help him and his classmate to the nurse's office. Present Mike compliments the match and praises the students for their effort. So, as the crowd gets ready to move on to the next event, Endeavor bumps into All Might and compliments his pupil, saying, "Your kid has a lot of heart. Don't screw him up with all your silly theatrics." All Might nervously laughs, saying, "Thanks, and your son did really good too. He's a lot like his father, I think." All Might nervously looks around, then says, "By the way, that kid isn't related to me if that's what you think. He's just a student I work with." All Might says, rambling and stumbling through his sentences. Endeavor just ignores him and walks away, asking All Might to check on Todoroki when he goes to the nurse's office. All Might agrees as Endeavor finally leaves, so All Might can quickly head out and see Midoriya and congratulate him on his win. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you can see whenever I post a new video. It'll also help me get to 1,000 subs, which would be great for all of us. But again, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you all next time.